Hello and welcome to the 1 year anniversary episode.
1 year. Happy birthday.
Podiversary.
Podiversary.
Happy podiversary. Welcome to the 1 year episode of the Parenting Tools podcast. My name is Jordan and I've got an air fryer.
My name is Jason and this is the podcast where two dads talk about the hilarious chaos and the relentless beauty, sometimes in a different order. Welcome to the pod.
Sweet, I'm so tired of you. Sweet, I'm so tired of you treating me this way. I'm sick and then I'm
Well, Jason, as it is the 1 year podiversary, it would only be right to crack out a bit of no secco.
Way.
There we go.
That's why you asked for some glasses.
That is why I asked for some glasses. Well, speaking of glasses, it was your birthday recently.
Oh, it was?
I've got your present. Got you some rinse aid.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For those that don't know, I was asking for alternatives to rinse aid because it's so expensive.
That wasn't too bad.
What are we saying?
£1 something.
Serious, is that it?
Price to clear.
Oh,
Heartfelt.
maybe I'm just cheap.
But no, there you go. Cheap
Thank you
alternative.
very much. I'll take that. Should we crack that open now?
Oh, let's crack open the no secco.
So this is 1 year of doing the podcast.
1 year of doing the podcast.
That's flown.
It's absolutely
They do
flown.
say time flies when you're old, don't they?
Well, yeah. And we are getting older by the by the year, by the day. I can't open it. The little tab has just come off in my hand.
On this episode, we have a very special guest, don't we, Jordan?
You can open that.
Okay, I'll try and
We
open
do indeed. So today, very exciting guest. We have Nigel Clarke, CBeebies presenter of the Baby Club, joining us. And really excited to speak to Nigel. He's a father himself, works in children's TV. So yeah, look forward to having him.
So I'm really struggling to open this bottle.
I'm glad it wasn't just me. So yeah, well, today, because it is the 1 year anniversary of the pod, we put on Instagram, where are you listening from? So I've got some countries where people listen from, and this is incredible. So I'll just read them out. So we've got the USA, Canada, Australia, Netherlands, Germany, Norway, Sweden, Spain, voila. New Zealand, literally the furthest place away. South Africa. Oh, man down. So the no secco is open. So we got to South Africa, Denmark, Belgium, France, Hungary, Egypt, loads of countries where people are tuning in. So thank you to, of course, people in the UK as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for putting up with us this last year.
It's been quite amazing, isn't it?
Cheers to you. Oh, it's horrible stuff. My goodness.
I'm glad you said it.
Oh,
But it does boggle my mind that people from all over the world listen to the podcast.
yeah.
And I think what I love about it is that for us, like, we do this out of just love of being dads, but also trying to help people that understand that, especially if you're struggling, like, you're not alone.
Yeah.
And it just makes my heart warm.
And to get out of the house for a little bit.
Yeah. I've really got to go. Got to record the podcast.
I got the pod. Got to go.
But yeah, honestly, thank you so much to everyone who listens to the podcast to support us with your reviews, your ratings, just your viewership. It's quite something.
And to you as well. Thank you for doing this with me.
And you? Cheers.
Microphone cheers. No, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't do this.
That's ditto.
I said, let's do it. And you went, yeah, let's do it next week. I'm very much someone that talks about my ideas. You just said, yeah, let's do it. So thanks to you.
It's been good.
Oh, it's been good
I've
fun.
really enjoyed it.
Bring on the next year.
Bring on the next year.
Bring on the wall.
Have you got any reflections of the last year?
Any reflections? Do you know what I love? It's not really, it is a reflection. I love that I feel involved in people's lives.
Yeah.
People message us and say, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. Or my wife's pregnant. We've had the baby. This is happening.
I've had a vasectomy.
Yeah, I've had a vasectomy. That's just all one bloke in the space of 6 months. No, yeah, so you feel involved in people's lives and that kind of that is the kind of the thing that I love. I mean, the messages we get from people saying thanks for the support and all that kind of are wonderful, but the ones that get me are the kind of updates from people.
Yeah.
I love that. What about you?
I think what gets me the most is, and it sounds so normal, but just parents who really want the best for their kids.
Yeah,
and
man.
like aren't embarrassed about like actually trying at parenting, especially dads as well. Like they're not afraid to actually try and be seen to be trying. Don't know why that just gets me, but it does.
Yeah. Tell you what gets me? The Prosecco cork. I'm going to put
That
the
is
Prosecco
disgusting.
down because it's minging.
Oh.
If you're an international listener, you don't know what minging means. Just disgusting.
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 Before we get to it was Father's Day on Sunday. Before we get into that, I've got a recommendation that I really need to get off my chest.
Oh, go on.
So we've talked a few times about the glow clock.
Yeah.
Is it Tommy Tippy?
Yeah.
I think so.
Gonna say yeah.
Anyway, this is a serious recommendation, which I'm urging you, please put this into the next edition of the glow clock.
Are you saying it's a top tool?
I'm saying there's a top suggestion which I need to happen.
Top suggestion, which needs to happen.
To be able to adjust. So basically, the clock is you set it to go blue when it's sleep time, and it goes yellow when it's time to wake up. It's all pre-programmed, all that sort of stuff. Lovely. It works well for us. What I would love is that if you could adjust the timer from your phone. You wake up at 5 to
okay.
7. You need an extra 10 minutes sleep.
Yeah.
But the glow clock is telling you 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
If you could just adjust that from your phone, it'd be amazing.
And the other way as well, if you've woken up early and you can hear that your kids are up,
Yeah.
you can change it, bring it earlier
That's
so that
far nicer than my suggestion.
yeah, they think they've done it. They think they've stayed in.
I just wanted more sleep. You went for the better option.
Well, that's because that's what happens to us all the time. As you all know, the glow
Have
clock
to give in.
not work for us. So yeah, there were quite a few times where you just start the day off with back to your room, or why haven't you stayed? If you could hear that they're awake and change it to yellow, so they feel like they've done
I
it.
feel like a sense of achievement,
Yeah,
but it's all a farce.
it's a good idea though.
It's a good idea.
A smart grow clock.
Yeah, I
Is
can't.
it grow or glow?
I think it's grow, but it glows.
Okay.
Either way, but I can't steal that idea because it's already a thing. So that's just an add-on feature.
We can change it though. We can.
The alter from your phone clock doesn't
Yeah.
have the same ring.
It rings if it's a phone. Oi, oi. So it's been
poor.
Father's Day yesterday.
Father's Day on Sunday.
And as we started our very first question, when we started this podcast, how did you get on?
that was the first question?
I think it was.
And do you know what? I think last year, we had the Derricks.
I had the Derricks. That's how we started this. It's amazing anybody listens, because the first thing they heard was me saying that I had the Trotters, the Derrick and the Rodneys.
No, I had a good time. Usually Sunday's a working day for me,
Yep.
usually. So we had our little celebration, a family get together on a Saturday. It was lovely, barbecue in the hot weather. That was really nice. We had a few of us round. And then Noah had made me a little card. When I say Noah, my daughter, I mean my wife made me a card.
Scribble on it.
But she's either got the craft abilities of a 3-year-old, or she's really good at mimicking the craft abilities of a 3-year-old.
Or Noah did it.
That would be impressive.
That would be impressive.
But yeah, it was very lovely.
Oh, good.
What about yourself?
I loved it.
You loved it.
I loved it. The weather. Although we
was-
got caught in a storm.
Oh, that. We'll come back to that.
Let's come back to the storm. So yeah, we had church in the morning, and I finally got to speak, as it was postponed last
Yeah,
year.
so you spoke at church.
I did. I spoke at church, got all the kids involved, and it was wonderful chaos. I loved it. And then, so my son came on stage when I said, "Oh, the kids come." He came on stage. I said, "Do you want to say anything?" And I gave him the microphone. He went, "My mummy and daddy," and I just went, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" I don't know what he was going to say. He probably was going to say, "We're going to take me to the park," or they've told me we're going to buy him something. But who knows what he'd have said. So yeah, went to so after church, went to my in-laws for dinner, and then went over to the fair, because there's a fair at the local park. Got rained on, and then went straight back home. and then had all my side of the family over for a Chinese in the evening.
Nice.
Number one takeaway.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say we have a curry more, but an Indian is my go-to.
So that's not the top spot?
No, yeah, Chinese is top spot.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd say the other way around for me.
Indian first, Chinese second.
Well, Chinese can go on maybe fifth.
Fifth?
Yeah. Not a huge fan.
So what else is there?
Burgers? Kebabs?
Do you order a burger?
Sometimes from the fancy burger place.
Oh.
Yeah, or a kebab.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
See, I do,
pizza.
I do like it.
I just love
You've got
pizza.
your own pizza oven.
I know. But it still comes above ordering a Chinese for me. Emma loves a Chinese, so we do get a Chinese often.
Yeah.
But
crispy shredded beef is
crispy shredded beef.
the one.
See, what I liked about... So for me, at our church on Sunday, I didn't speak, which is unusual. Like, it was almost like a little bit of a day off, which is quite nice.
Yep.
So we had a few other guys speak, and that was always nice to hear from other people. One thing I thought was really sensible, but also just sensitive, was Father's Day isn't a good day for a lot of people. Like it's a good day for lots, but for others it's quite a challenging day, quite a difficult day, especially if like fathers aren't present or they've passed away, and it's quite a difficult balance to strike. But actually, we're still finding that feat of, for the dads that are trying, like, that celebrate them, and then for the ones that aren't around, like, just celebrate the parents who are trying and are still there.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. I like the sentiment of Father's Day and Mother's Day, but also I wish it was longer.
Yeah.
Is it Father's Week?
Well, yeah, that would be great. Well, do you know, I said Mother's Day, my wife was like, I am not changing any nappies. I didn't have to say it.
Really?
She took care of everything.
Wow.
And we've got a tooth coming through at the minute, so there's a lot of more poos. And she did them all.
Does that happen?
Yeah.
So, when the tooth's coming through, there's more poos? Or is that just what they say?
Well, it seems to be the case.
Is that just because they're tensing more?
I think it's all to do with the saliva and...
I'd love to know what the actual... If it's just like a wives' tale.
I mean, it's one of those things where I could be wrong and spouting misinformation, as I often do. But...
I've just discovered this chair has arms.
I wondered what...
I don't usually sit on this chair.
You look so excited for a second.
My arms could get a rest.
Oh, amazing. So what did you get? What was your haul?
So we're not really big on presents on like Father's Day and Mother's Day. Saying that, I got a Skittles set, but Star Wars themed.
As in like little bowling?
Bowling, yeah.
Little bowling set.
Yeah, because Noah's got a little bowling set and she loves it, but it's all like mismatched and like odd bits.
Yeah.
And that just frustrates me. But apparently she's picked it out, so...
Oh, amazing.
I'll take it.
Nice.
Do you gifts?
Little ones.
What'd you get?
Like chocolates.
Oh, that's always a winner.
Yeah, it's a little bit of chocolates. My son Luca, if you're a new listener, he's nearly 4. He came up to me on Tuesday, a little smile on his face, and he went, "We buyed your favourite chocolate today." I said, "Oh, what for?" He went, "Because you've been a good boy at work." Bless him. So I knew I was getting some chocolate for Father's Day.
Oh, see, I made it difficult because I've been trying to be really healthy. Throwback to some of the highlights of the year.
When you said Skittles set, I was thinking some snacks. Schnecks.
I do like Skittles. They're quite good. That's a strong sweet. But throwback to earlier in the year, I think I mentioned I don't understand how parents fit the gym into their life.
Yeah.
I've been really trying.
Okay.
How's it 3 times last week.
Oh, nice.
I was supposed to go today, and we'll leave it there.
It's so warm.
But it means I've cut out chocolate and...
You're sweating it out.
Yeah, that's what I tell myself. But I'll report back in a few weeks, see if I can keep it up. Good. It is exhausting. I still don't understand it.
It is tiring.
And like the trade-offs, it's not... Before, you can make a trade-off and you can go to something you enjoy.
Yeah.
Now I have to do a trade-off to go do something which is punishing my body.
So what day, like what time have you been going? How have you been squeezing it in?
So I've done before work, after drop-off, before work. Sometimes when Em takes Noah to the drop-off, I'll go so early morning, late nights, or lunchtimes. That's pretty much it. So at any time.
You hear that, TikTok? He's doing it.
I'm doing it.
can-
And
Put your mean words away.
that'd be quite funny. Look back at the meanest words that we've had.
Oh, we should. That'd be funny. Do you know recently you said about Noah saying slide in a funny accent?
Slide.
So she'd go, can we go to this park and go on the slide?
Yeah.
Literally the week of that episode coming out, Mila started to say something with a funny accent. She learnt a new word, which was out.
Out.
Now, anybody who's listened to this pod knows that she doesn't like the car seat. We're still in that phase. So she'll go, me in the car, she'll go, Daddy, Mummy, I want out.
Where she heard that from?
She just goes full on Schwarzenegger, like she's just full on German. Out. And she's got the loveliest, softest voice. She'll be like, Daddy, Mommy. Aww. And then all of a sudden, out. I can't help but laugh. And I'm like, oh, you want out? She's like, yeah. I'm like, what do you want? I'm just trying to get her to say the word.
Oh, bless her. Joe, before we introduce our guest, there's a photo on our notes. A hot take.
A hot take.
If mums get a push present, dads should get a pump present.
This is from the Mac Daddy on TikTok. I would encourage you to follow him. So he's a recent new dad, and he's just kind of sharing his honest thoughts on, things that nobody tells you when becoming a newborn and all that kind of stuff. His page is brilliant, so go check him out. And he posted that. What are your thoughts? Well, explain what a push present is.
So, my understanding, the cogs were turning as I was reading it.
So you don't know what one is?
So I didn't. Now I put it together.
Okay.
So I'm assuming a push present is just getting a present for pushing out the baby.
Yeah.
What happens if it's a C-section?
Well,
do they still get one?
I know your sister-in-law has said before that she didn't give birth.
That's true. Yes, what she says, yeah.
She says he was extracted.
Like with the claw machines.
It's that claw. It's a really good prize. Imagine if the claw did work like that as well, where it just lets them go near the edge just to get your hopes up. Oh, we've got a baby. Oh, no. Put another pound in. These things are rigged.
So a push present is you get a gift for giving birth.
Yeah, and they, on Instagram, obviously, people post, and they are expensive gifts. Like
really? Is this a thing?
Bags.
I thought it was like a chocolate bar.
No. And then the other side is like people go, we've got a baby. Like one more of a present do you want?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
The Mac Daddy is saying that men should get a pump present.
Now, I think I'm going to err on the side of caution.
Go on.
It's not that hard. The two aren't comparable.
I mean...
I hope it is.
Oh god, the hot face is back. But yeah, I don't think the two aren't comparable, and it's not that difficult. let's reword. The effort we put in isn't half as well, I say half. It's nowhere near as difficult as the effort that women put in.
On another level.
I mean, I'd take a present.
Unless you had kidney stones at the same time.
Where's that come from?
Because people say that having kidney stones is the same or worse pain as pregnancy, as giving birth.
Do they?
So that's what they. Yeah, that's what they say.
Right. Okay. I didn't know. I just didn't get that at all.
That would be an odd thing just to wish on someone.
Before we speak to Nigel, do let us know at parentingtoolspod or parentingtoolspod@gmail.com. Oh, sorry. Hello at parentingtools.co.uk. Hello at parentingtools.co.uk. Let us know where you're listening from.
And while you're at it, please do give us a review.
Oh, yeah.
And a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to your podcast.
Yep. Thanks for sticking with us for this last year and this last few minutes. Let's speak to Nigel. So welcome to the Parenting Tools podcast. Nigel Clarke. Nigel, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me, boys.
Oh, it's so good to have you. No, just for the listeners, who are you and what have you got? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, my name's Nigel Clarke. I have got a partner and 3 kids. They are aged 15, 13, and then the youngest is 7 months now. And yeah, we live in North London and do the parenting thing, just like your listeners. Ups and downs, good nights, bad nights. You know how it is.
Oh, I have to ask straight off the bat. That's quite a big gap.
Yeah, it is a big gap.
How are you finding that? Were you ready just to go again?
Yeah, I mean, it was fully planned. My partner Melina and I were like, well, we've got no little ones anymore. The shelf life was still good, let's say, and we were like, right, let's go again. And little Cassius came along, and it's a totally different experience to having a child the first time round, because first time round, you've not done it; it's all new. This time, you kind of have a little bit of history and background, and a little bit behind you. You got some tools, but now you've got helpers. You 15-year-old and a 13-year-old. You got live-in babysitters right there who can help out. So it's much. I would say it's a little bit easier. I'm not going to say much easier. I don't want to make anyone feel like, yo, you got it easy, Nigel, because I ain't got it easy. But I have got more hands on deck.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I've noticed you've posted a few Instagram stories at 2, 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah. When Cassius was still up through the night doing the feeds, I mean, with all my kids, I did all the night feeds and things like that. So, I documented a little bit of how it was going. Night feeds, going out in the middle of the night to take him for a walk, to settle him down and get him wanting to sleep, because you know how that fresh air can help. All of the things that you do as a parent, I thought, you know what, it would be good to show some of that for other people and show that, hold on, everyone goes through this. You're not alone. And I used to get messages from people at 3 o'clock in the morning going, that was just nice to know that someone else was up at that time in the morning, doing something, to try and settle their baby, because it just felt like we were in it together, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh well, good for you, and good for your others as well. How have they been with him? Like, how have they found life with a baby in the household?
Everyone's doting on him. From the moment he was born, he has been passed from person to person, not only in our immediate family, the 4 of us, 5 including him, but then grandparents and aunties. They're all like wanting to hold him and offering to look after him for an hour or 2 while life still goes on, because you still got to work, you still got to drop teenagers to after school clubs and do all of those different things. So he's been passed from pillar to post, but just because everyone wants to see him and everyone wants to hold him and everyone wants to be with him and spend time with him. So yeah, he's literally, you know how babies are. They change the whole family dynamic. Everyone wants to know about them. And he's fully up in that right now. And he's happy to go and see any family member.
Oh, that's amazing. I was going to ask, as a follow-up to that, like, how have you found managing your time between your 3 kids? So I've only got 1 daughter. John's got 2 kids. How have you found managing your time between that, and especially with a baby, obviously that require a lot of attention as well?
Listen, it is a day-to-day struggle, right? You try and plan for it as best you can, but it's day-to-day, week-to-week. Making big plans for a month from now, that's risky. Because you don't know what situation you're going to be in when that comes around. So, like I said, we've got the extra hands on deck, so that's a real help. So with things like cooking for the family or something like that, it's easy to either hand off to one of the teenagers and go, "Hey, can you hold Cassius while we cook dinner?" Or one of us cooks dinner. Or we've got really lucky that we can look after baby, and we say, "Look, Rory, can you do some cooking today? Can you cook dinner today?" Or Sienna, can you do some quesadillas today? Lovely. All the ingredients are there. Cook that up for us. We'll be very thankful if you did that. So there's that side of things. And then it's about managing their lives, because they have lives. So my son, 15, he's a gymnast. and trains 5 times a week, 4 hours a time after school. So let's say on a Monday after school, he'll finish school at 4 or 4:30. 4 o'clock, I pick him up from school. He needs to be at gym. Should be there by 4:30, but we've got an agreement to get him there by 5. So it's literally go to school, pick him up at 4, feed him in the car between 4 and 5. He might catch a quick nap and then get to the gym. He'll be there until 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then it's another 45 minutes to drive home. And you kind of feed him in the car on the way home. Maybe he might do some homework if he gets home in time to do some. Yeah, but the person who does that, the parent who does that, has to sit at the gym and wait because it's super far away to be coming home and going back to get him. So if he's there for a 4-hour session, it's like, yo, you're there for 4 hours as well. So you take your work, you take your laptop. Often you might see me on the socials in what I call the car office. And yeah, I'm there. I have Zoom meetings. Have I done a podcast in the car yet? I think I might have. I've done so many meetings in the car, like on Zooms and stuff. Not driving, folks, not driving. If you're listening to this, like, and the car is stationary in a car park, folks, with some Wi-Fi that I'm using. But yeah, a lot of meetings have been conducted in the car.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're managing it, all the plates are spinning.
That is the perfect analogy. The plates are fully spinning now over at this house. And it's all about going back to them to make sure they keep spinning. But that's the thing with parenting. I'm sure you guys have got your struggles with childcare and all of that side of things.
We had last week. So Jason's got one child and he had to turn around as we were recording a pod episode and just go home and like be hands on deck.
That's it. That's it. That is the real parenting life right there. Your plans change in the blink of an eye and suddenly it's like, whoa, sorry, folks, all hands on deck. Little one is projectile and from the other end and help is needed at home. I've got to go. Sorry, I'm tapping out, folks. Yeah,
for sure. Well, Nigel, people might recognize you from the telly and TV and CBeebies. In lockdown, my wife and I, we were big fans of the Baby Club. We would often, because obviously you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't go to baby clubs. So we would get our little boy and we'd sit down and we'd find a bag and we'd do what's in the bag with him and we'd tidy up and put our things away and we'd sing all the songs and we'd do bubble time. We loved it and he loved it as well, which was obviously the most important thing. Tell us a little bit about kind of how you got into TV presenting and children's TV presenting and all the stuff you do.
Yeah. So first off, thanks for the support and watching it and for the kind words about like what we do. I mean, for those who've seen it, so you don't need an explanation, but for those who don't, it's literally a baby club that you would find in your local town hall or your local community centre or something like that, where we do a hello song, we do some exploratory play, bubble time, story time, singing and dancing, goodbye song, all of those things. But we do it on the TV so that if you can't get to a baby club, if you're feeling self-conscious about going to a baby club, if you just want to get a feel for what they're like, you can do it in the comfort of your own home. And hopefully you can see the massive benefits of doing it because the show is all about development. It's about the development of your children. It's funny because most people think you're just sitting there having fun. And that's what you do. You do sit there and have fun. But everything we do on the show is based upon aiding your children's development and creating a bond between you as parent and child. And the amount of people that have messaged me on social media, messaged me, here, there and everywhere saying, oh, 1, they love the program. 2, oh, my baby started saying hello because of you. My baby started clapping because of you. It's the only time they'll sit still and they've started to develop. It's really rewarding and just lovely to hear and see. So yeah, 1, thank you for enjoying it, and it looks like it's done what it's meant to do.
Oh, you're welcome.
But yeah, I've been doing kids TV for 25 years. Wow, I had to count there and make sure. Yeah, 25 years. So, how old are you two?
I'm 31.
31,
and I'm 29.
29. Okay, right. So when you were teenagers, we're looking about 15 years ago. Okay. Do you ever remember a program called Clutter Nutters?
No.
On CBBC? or Totally Rubbish. Totally Rubbish was an art show where we like make art out of rubbish. Clutternutters was one where these kids had to weigh all the stuff in their rooms, and the kid who lost the most weight from their rooms was the best. So you used to have to recycle, sell, or upscale the things from your room, and the person who lost the most weight from their room would win the episode and get their room totally redecorated for free. It was really, really cool. It was, but I think there's an adult version now, right? With what's her name? Her name slipped my mind. Joe Swash's wife.
Oh, Stacey Solomon. Sort your life out.
Right. That show, I think you heard it here first, a little bit based on Clutternutters from like way back, like 15 years ago or so. Look at one of our episodes and then look at one of theirs and you'll be like, oh, somebody was young and watching this show, and then you've got older and gone, I've got a really great idea for a show, and they've kind of like rejigged it a little bit and gone, here you go.
That's amazing. That's really so. You've been doing it for a while, and obviously people will see you doing CBeebies House and stuff like that. Do you know?
Yeah.
With the Baby Club, are the episodes like? Does it sometimes take a while to film? You're in a room of babies. Is there sometimes just a load of carnage and loads of cutting and editing?
There's definitely a load of carnage. there's definitely a load of cutting and editing, but we have to churn it out just to make it cost effective for what we do. So we'll churn out 2 episodes a day. We do a whole series in 2 weeks.
Really?
So
wow.
We'll do 2 episodes a day for 2 weeks, and then we'll get 20 eps out.
That's amazing.
Weeks, and that'll do us for a year. So we get a whole year's worth, like 6 months to a year's worth of programming out in 2 weeks. But we try and keep the carnage in. We try and really show you what it would be like. So if somebody needs a feed in the middle of an episode, someone needs a feed. If 2 kids kick off with each other in the middle of an episode, 2 kids kick off with each other in the middle of an episode. That's it. We try and keep that in because you want it to be real. You want it. Most people enjoy it when it's a little bit more real and it's not stagnant with that. Okay, well, nothing ever goes wrong. No, we have people turn up late. We have people leave early. We have people who need feeding, people who need their nappies changed.
Real
all
life
that
stuff.
interrupts and gets exactly all the things that you would have to do, like because you never know when your baby's gonna poo the nappy and you're gonna have a poonami and you're gonna have to deal with it. You could be out, middle of the Sainsbury's checkout. Other supermarkets are available, like Tesco, Aldi, Lidl, anyone, right? And baby could poonami while you're at the till. You're going to have to think about, whoa, what am I doing here? And if that poonami is a leaky one that's leaking out, who knows what sort of like situation you're going to have to deal with.
That's why we didn't bring him on. I said to my wife, we should take him on. We should go on the Baby Club. And she said, he'd be ripping the place apart.
So many people I've heard so many stories of people avoiding like applying to go on because they're like, no, he'd be a terror, he'd be this, he'd be that. And we're like, no, that's what we kind of want. We want people who are going to show us that they're real children.
It's when they go, hello, Luca, and it's just me on my own. He's over there. It's just me. It's just me trying to keep it together.
We got really good camera operators who will find your baby right when that moment is. Hello, Luca. Bosh, he's over there. Doesn't matter where he is, we got him.
Just be his feet dangling over the bookshelf.
That's a funny shot. That's a funny shot. Tell me you wouldn't be laughing if you saw that on the Baby Club. It's hello, Luca, and you saw just Luca's feet and the rest of him was like in some cubby hole, like trying to pull out a little, I don't know, rattle or shaky.
Oh, that's how it would have been.
Toy.
That's how it would have been.
So I have to ask, because I'm a little bit curious, because you've been working in children's TV for so long, what is your favourite stage?
Okay, so I'm assuming you mean stage as in how old the kids are, whether they're babies, toddlers.
Like child development age. Which stage do you have the most fun?
Okay, I would have to say toddlers. I mean, a little bit older than that's cool as well, but toddlers, they keep it real. Like there's no mincing of words. it is straight. I mean, kids never mince words anyway. So even when they're a little bit older, you'll get a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old go like, I don't like your hair, Nigel. Like, cool, dude, man. At least I know where I am. I know where I stand. Whereas someone else would like be keeping that in, just looking at you going, I don't like your hair. A kid will be like, don't like it. Even more, a toddler will act on it. Like a 10 or 11-year-old, they'll just say it. A toddler, they'll push you out of the way. They'll get physical with it as well. They don't business. They're like, yo, this is me. Like it or lump it. I'm probably going to push some boundaries as well. And I don't like the look of that toddler over there. So I might just kick a ball in his face.
my little boy, so he's 3 and 3.75, and he said to me the other day, he said, I don't like that boy. I like his iPad, but I don't like him.
Keeping it real. I like his iPad. I would take his iPad, right? I would have a good time playing on that for 3-4 hours. I might give it back, but him, not a fan.
Yeah, the boy pushed him, so he wasn't in his good books.
Did they make up later on?
I think so, yeah. They're friends again. They've seen each other since, and they were all good.
Sharing's always a tough one at that age as well.
Oh, it is, for sure. For sure it is.
Sharing's a big lesson.
Yeah, it is. I've got to ask, Nigel, being someone who parents know, and you'll probably be recognisable to a lot of parents, when your kids are having a bit of a meltdown in public, do you ever think, people are watching my response here?
Of course you're going to think that. But the thing with kids is, right, the big one with kids is the patience.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's the huge one. And I think most people's impatience sometimes comes from not understanding what the child is actually going through. So having worked on the Baby Club, I went on a course with a charity called People, and you train you to become a PEEP practitioner, which is all about the development side that I was mentioning earlier on in the podcast. But when you go through things like that and you do all of the bits, I started an organization called Dadvengers, which helps dads on their journey through parenthood. I'll tell you a bit about that later. But when you work with kids as much as I do, you start to understand why they do things. And when you realize why they do things, you can kind of approach things differently. So sometimes a kid's kicking off because they cannot express to you, they haven't got the words to express what they actually want or need. And that's where sometimes the frustration comes. And it's like, you're not getting me. That's what's going on in their head. But having an understanding of that, it means a lot of the time I know how to diffuse a situation. So there are less times in that public moment where I'm going to be caught a cropper, if you know what I mean. Because that's the question, really, end of the day. End of the day is, Nige, have you ever looked at your child like, look, are you even mine in public like you would at home?
Oh, I think I just feel like everyone's watching me and kind of just looking for me to make a mistake almost. And
yeah, I totally get what you mean. And there will be people who are looking at you like that. But half the time, they're looking at you like, wow, that's you from the TV. Actually, Nige, can I shake your hand? Can I thank you, mate? Like, even if you are struggling with your one right now, you had mine wrapped around your little finger. So that help was absolutely incredible and absolutely amazing. Can I thank you for that? Most of the time, they're so focused on that they're not too worried about mine. And I think mine, they may have the reverse of what you just talked about. So I think they may be like, yo, they all know my dad, they all know me. Am I going to embarrass myself in front of people who are going to be like, yo, you should know better, dude?
Yeah, come on, Baby Club, sort it out.
Yeah, exactly. So I think
that's awesome.
A little bit of both. I think there's a little bit of both going on.
Oh, that's funny. You mentioned a little bit there and skirted over it. Dadvengers, tell us all about that.
Yeah, so Dadvengers. I don't know if any of this is going to be visual, but that sign there behind me, I hold a lot of chats, online chats in this room, in this chair, whether they be podcasts, whether they be dad courses, whether they be Instagram lives, all sorts. Because after shooting the All Dads episode of the Baby Club, I realized that there wasn't a lot of support out there for dads. So to cut a long story short, we made the dads episode of the Baby Club, and everyone who was on it was like, yo, this is amazing. This is really, really cool. Dad's episode. Yeah. And I was like, should we really be having that response? Shouldn't it be like, yo, it's the dad episode. Cool. Not, this is like, amazing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so there obviously is a little bit of a, even leveling up that needs to happen here. Went online, didn't like what I saw because I didn't see much and the tone wasn't right of the stuff I did see. So I thought, let me start a podcast, the Dadvengers podcast, and that's all it was meant to be. And here we are 3 years later, and it's become like a community interest company that supports dads on their journey through parenting, with everything from the podcast to Instagram lives to loads and loads of blog posts on our site that are there to help people on anything to do with parenting. To a new dad course, which we launched this year for expectant fathers who might be feeling like, yo, I don't know what to expect. The antenatal class didn't seem like it was really aimed at me. There were a load of questions that I wanted to ask, but I didn't really ask them in front of like all the women in there because I thought I might sound stupid. You know, all of those things that are going through a man's head, they can come to one of our courses, sit with the dudes and be like, yo, how much milk do they need? How many times do they need a nappy change? How do I bond with my child? All the questions. And we sit there and we go through it and we give them all the tools. Parenting Tools podcast. We give them all the tools that they need to feel more confident as fathers and as parents.
Oh, I love it. I think it's so needed as well. Like you said, it seems to have been like a gap. And I think we're noticing that, especially feedback from guys as well, that are really just trying their best. Like, it is hard to engage and not worry about like all the other stuff, but just to engage as a dad and feel confident in it. I've listened to some of the podcasts and watched some on Instagram Live. For the listeners, where can they find you the easiest?
Do you know what? Just typing in Dadvengers into any platform, anywhere, whether that be Instagram, Facebook, Google, we're going to pop up. And what I wanted to say was that in response to what you were just talking about, yes, it is really needed. And I think a big reason for that is that generationally, dads are changing. Our dads were different to the dads we want to be now. And I'm not knocking the dads of the previous generation. It was just a different time. Work was different. Life was different. You know, men were the breadwinners and went out and, you know, you'd come home later in the evening and you're not going to see your child as much. And mums were staying home. We're not living in that time anymore. Now, women are going out to work. Men are staying at home. The men are wanting to be involved more with their young children. But we haven't had the examples. We haven't had that. We haven't seen the way it could work, could be. So it's really important to talk about these things together, to experiment, to normalize it and get more dads there and involved, because then hopefully our children, it'll be like, oh yeah, this is what my dad used to do anyway. Yeah. And they'll take to it like a duck to water because they'll have seen it.
Yeah, I love
we're living in a really pivotal time where the responsibility of dads right now is, and what we are seen to be doing is really, really important.
Yeah, for sure. I love the bio you have. So it says like a community of parents, and then in brackets, that's mums and dads. Yeah,
I mean, what we strive for when you have anything parenting, if you make it parenting, and this is nothing against your title, and don't go thinking bad about your title now for your show, but sometimes when you call it parenting, women will turn up and men will see parenting and go, there's going to be loads of women there, probably not for me. Right? When you put dads there, suddenly you can get both, because mums will listen anyway. They're just curious and they just, what are these lads getting up to? They want to know about it. So they turn up to listen or get involved as well. but because it's called Dads, they feel something with dad in the title, they feel like they can go and they feel like, oh, this is our space. So you'll be surprised that even though we're called Dadvengers, we're probably, even then, probably still about 55-60% women, as opposed to like, most people would think, oh, it's going to be, and that's the struggle of having a dad organization as well. Like, I mean, we'd love it to be 50-50, but often it's the mums going out and finding the information online. We as dads, we don't seem to be out there doing the searching, doing the asking of the questions here, there, and everywhere. But it's changing slowly, and hopefully in years to come we will be, as we feel more comfortable doing it.
Yeah, so and you do live stuff as well, don't you? You go to events, and is there anything coming up that people can find you at?
Yeah, so let's have a look. I mean, in London, we're at the North London Family Fest, which is coming up soon. We're planning on going to more baby and toddler type shows. So there's the baby and toddler show, there's the baby show. I'm sure you'll be able to catch us there because we're doing a lot of promotion of the course for expectant fathers that I mentioned. But we're also doing meetups. And actually, here's some hot off the press news for you that isn't out there in the public, but we're kind of announcing it in the next couple of days now that Father's Day is out of the way. We are launching a fundraiser. We want to have a special week every year called the Adventures with Dad Week, where it's all about celebrating dads being involved and hands-on with their kids. Now, within that week, you can get sponsored. And it's a real way of raising funds for us so that we can help more dads. You can get yourself sponsored to do something with the kids. So let's say you don't normally take the kids to school. In Adventures with Dad Week, maybe you are being sponsored to do all the school runs that week, right? So you get sponsored, but it's everything that you might get sponsored for doing. I'm going to be doing a walk in my local area where all the dads are going to walk with the kids. Kids can scoot, kids can ride their bikes, whatever. We're going to go around the park. We do a 3K and everyone's sponsored to be there and doing it. But everything that you might use as a fundraiser is about dads spending time with their kids.
Yeah, that was great.
So, yeah, we're launching that really, really soon. So look out for that.
Oh, I love that.
That's awesome.
Can we count on you guys to do some sponsored stuff?
I'm up for something.
We'll be there.
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
As long as it's not running 10K.
No, you don't have to run 10K. Literally, you can do anything you want. I mean, one of the suggestions we've got is cooking with your kids. Are you going to sit down and make some fancy, I don't know, because I think we'll be close to Halloween crumpets or something where you decorate them or whatever it is. We don't really mind. It's more about, and you can come up with your own ideas as well. It's more about doing something with your kids. Maybe you're having craft time with your kids. Maybe you're having reading with your kids and you're going to read a book this week. You're going to read whichever book they're into. But it's all about spending time with your kids. So, yeah.
I love that.
You can do it anywhere in the country, anywhere you want to do it.
I think what I really love about that is just normalizing the dads being involved in that sort of stuff.
That's what we want.
Like today, I was making cookies.
Just do it. Yeah.
Making cookies today. They were terrible, but that was an activity that we did. And I will get better at it, but just normalizing that whole process.
Exactly that. And do you know what? Our kids remember those times. Because I bet you, both of you can remember a time when, and it doesn't need to be just a dad, when one of your parents did something with you and got involved with you. Whether that was, I don't know, go-karting or, taking you swimming or whatever it was, you can probably remember a time where you used to love doing something with one of your parents and you were like, yo, that was cool. And that comes from that. Leaving everything else behind, putting the mobiles down in this generation, not previous generations, not being distracted by a telephone call or the TV or whatever, and just totally focusing in on your children and getting to know them. Because when we do get to know them, when we spend time and we talk to them, then they talk to us more. And that's when you can head stuff off in the past in their teens.
That's amazing. Nigel, thank you so much for coming on. We really do appreciate it. We'll share all the stuff that you've got going on. We'll share the links to Dadvengers. And obviously, once the Father's Week is out, we'll share that as well for people to get involved. We always ask our guests before they leave for one nugget of parental wisdom that you would share.
Oh, a nugget of parental wisdom. Okay, right. Here it is. Nothing is going to stay the same. If you are struggling right now with your kids in anything, whether it's sleep, whether it's they're being a little rambunctious at school and pushing some kids around, or they're nervous about going to big school because they've been at nursery and they're going to change and they're going to have new mates or whatever it is, whatever you're going through as a parent, it's only temporary. It's going to change. They're going to throw a new problem at you. So don't stress too much about it. Right? Just chill, be patient with it, talk to them about it, and try and, when you're talking to them, give them the tools to be able to deal with it. It's your show is called Parents Tools, right? It's about parents tools. As parents, we have to give our kids the tools as well.
That's amazing.
So don't worry, it's going to change. Help give them some tools. They'll help give you some tools, and it'll all be fine.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Nigel.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. Good luck with everything. And I'll be keeping an eye and stuff. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you. We'll definitely speak about adventures in with fathers that week and get you guys involved.
Love it.
Amazing. Look forward to it.